Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Huh? Nope. Nope. Mamma mia!
This episode is sponsored in part by PTZ Optics. Why hire a camera operator when the control is in your hands? Visit ptzoptics.com for more information. And by NewTek, makers of the TriCaster TC1. Stun your viewers, not your accountant. Visit newtek.com for more information.
This is Jason from Retro Gaming Asylum. Welcome to Game Masters.
Got to stop talking about them now since we're live. We can't be talking about that kind of stuff. Oh, hi guys. Oh, yeah. See, there's no getting away from it. They're here. They're paying attention.
Howdy, everyone. Howdy.
We're here, and we've got some exciting news. You know, a lot of you guys have been, dealing with the issue the last couple of weeks of not having the chat from Brandy's chat room. Well, now we have it. We have everybody's chat room. We can pull it in. So if you're in Brandy's room, you're still going to show up now on the front page or on the video, I should say, not the front page, right?
Yes, I'm excited. This has been a thing. I'm gonna say we have been trying. I have not been trying anything.
She's been the
He
moral
has been
support in
trying.
the back.
I'm just here. You know that TikTok trend where it's like, "Hi, I'm blah blah blah," and then it like cuts away, and then it's like, "Hi, I'm blah. I did this. I did all the planning." That's we should do one of those. That would actually be kind of funny.
Well,
Oh man.
so X-Men Shadowcat says, I almost couldn't watch the live because of the ads. Well, I don't know how they do it, honestly, with YouTube when they throw it in on lives.
Yeah, I think I clicked the thing where it says like minimal. So
That's what I
hopefully,
do. I don't bombard people with it, I don't think.
yeah, hopefully it gets a little bit better. Or maybe they kind of like push them all at the beginning or they push them all at the end or something. Sometimes people have like different settings.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you don't get lost in all the ads there.
Well, we're here with episode 7, curating the collection. We're going to get into that discussion here this evening. We also got we got a store tour from
Yes.
a store out in Columbus, Ohio. We have a game room tour from DG. She is known as the PlayStation Girl on YouTube. And we've got some videos and tips. We got pickups. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
So
today.
much. Never ending.
So why don't we do this? Now that we have everybody's chat, we got all the chat together. Why don't we do this? If you're in the chat, say hello so we can kind of shout you out. Because before we were going back and forth, I'll let Brandy shout you all out while I pull up everybody's chat.
Yes. We'll start at the beginning. We had Ted Adam Green at the very beginning, some before the channel started live. And then we have the Intellivision Gamer popping on in. We have Mr. Gretzky. We have MSU Rich. We have my buddy Chase. He is in the house. We have Howie. Everyone's shouting out Ohio. They
That's
love
right.
the hat.
Go
Everyone-
Bucks.
Go Pittsburgh.
No, that's the wrong thing to say on this show.
Oh man, that inside joke and that'll never end. That will never end. We have X-Men Shadowcat here, and we have Nacho Nate and Zombie. We have quite a few people in here. Everyone's pumped up. Everyone's saying let's go.
Brandy hasn't learned her lesson yet with the sports team.
I'm just gonna yell out the wrong ones and just see who else I can tick off. I guess let's go for it.
That's all right. We've got looks like we've got Chasen RRG also here in the chat room. He said, my brother played basketball for Ohio. And here's the other cool thing. I noticed a lot of you guys use emojis. Brandy, they put emojis. We now have emojis on their chats. Before we didn't have that. It was just kind of, it would like do the
very cool.
Remember we had to try to figure out like what was that? It was like a period.
Oh yeah, we were trying at one point. I just realized that. Look, there's a whole basketball.
Yeah, so
Look,
all that's
we
coming
started
through.
from the bottom.
Thumbs up. We're good now. And hopefully if there's people on Facebook, if you comment, that would help us tremendously because then I can know if that's working. If not, that's something I gotta fine tune. But the main thing is the majority of you guys are on YouTube, so we want to make sure that we have everybody, so that you all feel like you're part of one big happy family here, and not two segregated chat rooms. So it works no matter which side you're on, right?
We're all family. Welcome.
So we were discussing this. We were saying, like, well, what are we going to talk about this week? And we started talking about the curating the collection. I know, Brandy, we got a lot of good feedback because not many people talk about this. But
yeah, sure did. A lot of people were like, they were so pumped for this. I know, some people have been messaging, and it's always something fun to talk about because it's something that everyone does a little bit different. There's different collectors. different gamers, just different interests, and I love hearing and seeing all this different stuff.
One of the things these guys are cracking me up with these emojis. Sorry. One of the things that we do have to start out with, though, we do have some news, and we're going to be brief with it, only because I think it's a good discussion point, especially going into curation. So let's take to the news.
Hi, this is William Jackson from Millennium Flashbacks. You're watching the Game Masters on YouTube.
All right. So this pains me to talk about because I feel like we talk about Nintendo almost every week. I feel like that people are going to start thinking we're Nintendo fanboys or something, but honestly, it's not good, and it's the only thing in the news right now, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I just don't know what's going on with Nintendo. They need to get it together.
Why don't you get on the call and let them know that they need to get it together?
I mean, if I had a direct contact, I would. Or if I could take that survey that they chopped down, then maybe I would be able to make a difference.
So you guys in the chat room, if you haven't seen this, tell me if this makes any sense, any logical sense to you. Nintendo says Nintendo Switch pricing update. Okay, so right away, everybody starts going, okay, well, we knew this was coming because they talked about, Brandy, the Switch 2 was going to have a price increase. But wait, pause, hold the phone. It's not the Nintendo Switch 2 that's getting a price increase. Oh, no. It's the Switch 1. It's Alarmo the clock. It's the Joy-Cons. Nintendo says pricing for the original Nintendo Switch family of systems and products will change in the United States based on market conditions. Effective August 3rd, 2025. What market conditions are they talking about? Somebody in the chat room, please explain this to me. Other Nintendo products, including certain Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, select amiibo, and the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo, which is actually cool, by the way, we'll see a price adjustment. And then it goes on to say that you can see these prices on other websites. So I pulled up our good friends over here at The Verge. Look at that. From $299 for the original Switch up to $339, they boosted it by $50. The OLED by $50 from $349 to $399. Joy-Cons from $80, now they're $110. What is going on? Is this like a cash grab? Am I missing something here?
Well,
Brandon, make sense of this.
I think PNX World actually had a great valid point. They said it's either actually market conditions or they're trying to push people to buy Switch 2s. Because why would you spend all this extra money on the outdated, system for a little bit more? I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't happy about it.
No.
Saying terrible things.
Yeah, Game Closet's like, it's just their greed. And
Yeah.
let's see here. Oh, man, chat's going, marketing conditions, tariffs. Yeah, I mean, the tariffs I thought everything was under control to my knowledge. Now,
Yeah, I thought things calmed down a little bit on that.
I thought everything was cool according to Nintendo. But okay, if you're gonna raise prices due to marketing conditions, or why not raise the price on the Switch 2? Not that I'm asking for it. PNX World says because you can use the Switch 1 stuff on the 2, so it feels like they're hoping people go, I mean, I guess for $10 more, I'll just get the Switch 2 Pro controller instead. He's not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, that does make a lot of sense. That's why we love having y'all in the chat, because you guys make a lot of sense over there.
I mean, a lot of the consensus here is Nintendo's being greedy. DG says that as well. She says they're being greedy. X-Men Shadowcast says this doesn't help. New consumers buy new Switches 2s, even anything. It's only going to make people buy the one really fast. You know what though, Brandy? If you were buying a Switch right now, $100 difference, you're going to buy the latest and greatest now.
Yeah.
You're not going to buy a Switch. I don't see you doing that. The OLED, right?
Unless like parents and stuff don't know any better and they want a cheaper option just because they, get a little confused. I mean, I don't know if it was like this at your house, but everything in my house was a Nintendo. Didn't matter if it was
Yes.
Xbox, PlayStation. Go play your Nintendo. Where's your Nintendo?
Well, to be fair, I mean that was kind of like. Do you guys all remember? Not the iPhone. I'm holding this up, but the iPod. Everything was an iPod. It didn't matter if you had an
Oh, true.
MP3 player. It was an iPod, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting that they would choose now. I would have thought they would wanted to do that way back before the Switch 2 actually launched, right? Because we already know the Switch 2 is the number one selling console, blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Why wait till now? I guess.
I think because all the heat that they're getting, with these lovely key cards and
All right.
all this stuff going on. I mean, maybe this is another tactic. I don't know.
Oh, don't get me started on the key card thing. You'll get everybody all fired up here in the chat room with the key card thing.
Yeah, let's hear it. What are your thoughts? Everyone bombard the chat.
Well, the good news is I think you mentioned earlier in the beginning of the show here that they had a survey, but they pulled it down before the majority of us could actually fill it out.
Yeah. So I wonder how bad that survey was coming in.
I was just going to say, like, a lot. It sounds like Nintendo is going to change for the good, maybe in 2026, that we're not going to have key cards. Maybe it's going to be full games. That's what we all want, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I'm hoping, because all of us crazy people that collect physical media, and we all know, with discs and stuff, like, you always have to download the updates, the patches, all that stuff. But still, it's like, we don't want things that are just going to keep, bringing us down and down. Like, we want more for our money, and we want to feel like we have something. We don't want it to just keep going backwards, I guess.
Yeah, and I hate this. I hate to say it that we keep pounding Nintendo on this, but like, I look at Sony and I look at even Microsoft. I'm bringing this up for Marbs. If Marbs is in the chat room, bringing this up for how much heat was on Microsoft for a while because they have no games, right? There's no first party games, and then you have Sony, who they kind of raised the prices of the PlayStation 5 in other countries, but they didn't do it here in the U.S. They've kind of just sat back. Sony just kind of sat back, and they were just kind of like sitting there eating their popcorn while Nintendo and Microsoft are doing all this stuff. Microsoft raised the price of their console.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb move. I think we all agree that was a stupid move. It wasn't selling as it was. And then Sony sits back, and they raised it a little bit overseas, but for the most part, they've kept it. They've kept it good. And I'll be honest, I pretty much play the PlayStation 5 more than I play anything else. The Switch is kind of my go-to on the run, on the go, or on the couch. I love my Portal. I know there's probably going to be haters out here that hate the Portal. I really love the Portal, as long as you have the highest tier of PlayStation Plus. But yeah, I don't know. I think Nintendo's cutting their nose off to spite their face. Is that the saying? I don't know. What do we got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm DG in the chat saying, yeah, exactly. This was the first console I didn't buy from Nintendo day one. It almost broke my heart not doing it. But after seeing this mess, I'm not as sad. And I mean, I feel the same way. I was there for the Switch, the original Switch. I remember waiting in line. I remember getting like all the games that they had and the amiibo and just having a great time. I got all like the promo posters and stuff. And like the week before, I think I got like the Wii U kiosk from that GameStop. Like, I loved it. And I debated the same way with the Switch too. And I was wondering if I should, get it day one. And I saw it the other day at Walmart. And part of me was like, I want one. But then I walked away. And I was like, maybe I could wait.
Let's talk about this comment right here, because I think this comment it tops it all. It's all Duggan Games. Nintendo has been overreacting to the piracy. I mean, out of control. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Can we say that they're not overreacting? They are out of control, banning systems you don't even own it. Yep. Now I own a Switch too, so I can say this. I don't even own it. I paid for it, and they can brick my system. What does it matter what I do, Brandy? If you want to hack it, you should be allowed to hack it.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So much that I've heard with, people, and no one wants to buy like a used one. You can't go on Facebook Marketplace and get them. Like, you're afraid to. Like, I get there's some issues and stuff, but that's not really helping the good of the people who want the system just to play games and such. There's always going to be bad people, and there's always going to be people who do bad things, but I feel like we all shouldn't be
Right.
in trouble for that.
Well, that's what I said.
Like,
Only
we
good
shouldn't be grouped with those people.
only good people follow the rules, right? Isn't that how it goes? You make rules that the
Well,
good
true.
people follow, the bad guys don't follow. You know that. The bad guys don't follow the laws.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like so they're lumping us in with the bad guys. So I don't know. We're gonna kind of be following this. We don't want to take up the whole show talking about Nintendo and news with it, because I know there's a lot of people that are just sick and tired of it. But I was kind of curious just to get your thoughts on it, Brandy, as somebody
Yeah.
who doesn't have it, and to hear what the folks in the chat room are saying about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like everyone's like very similar on, what I've been kind of going back and forth on and teetering, and I think at some point I will get one, but I feel like I also just want a little bit more games because, I want new games. I want the console exclusives and things like that. So I know in time I'll get one, but I just kind of want to know what I'm getting into fully before I invest some money,
Yeah. I mean, right now I only have 2 games that are kind of the exclusives. You have Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. Everything else has been
Yeah.
remakes. And don't get me wrong, I've been
Yep.
enjoying the remakes, but does it justify the price tag? And that's what everybody's asking. Does it justify me going out and spending $500? Listen, I had to buy 5 of these suckers day one. I didn't have to. I did it. My kids wanted it. My wife wanted it. And we got one for my daughter's boyfriend, and I had one. It was an early Christmas present. So I bought 5 of these. So I think I think I can complain a little bit about it, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to do that? The lack of games. But that's part of being a content creator, right? I'm not a Nintendo content creator. I do everything, but it was one of those things, like, I felt like, at least for us, for party games, Brandy, like, we play as a family. It's awesome to sit down and play Mario Kart as a family with the new features. But to somebody that is playing by themselves, they're probably sitting there going like, why don't I just play Mario Kart 8 and be happy?
No, I don't know. People are still going in the chat.
Oh,
there.
we got them all fired
And,
up here. I mean, like, these guys are like, but I think a lot of these guys, yeah, I know Howie, I know 5, but it's like I told my kids, that's part of your big presents for birthday and Christmas, because they had their birthdays August and September, and then Christmas is right around the corner. So
no, I mean, it makes sense, especially since you guys all wanted to play as a family. Everyone's super hyped for it, and of course the kids are gonna want like the new latest things and all that, and I understand that. But everyone is shocked, like 5.
I know. Hey, and I
hyping up,
pre-ordered all of
in
them.
the household.
I managed to pre-order all of them, and some people couldn't pre-order one, and I don't understand that logic, but okay. I managed in 45 minutes. I got 4 of them.
Jeez.
No bots. I didn't use any bots. This was just me with web browser sitting there clicking on it and having my credit card already. That was the trick. Having your credit card already in as a default payment. I think a lot of people didn't do that. So
Yeah, I feel like that does help. Any times that I've had to like buy games on like limited run games back in the day when it was like really limited run for a lot of things, I would already be logged into the PayPal, logged into the account, and then when you refresh it, and then there'd be chances where you still miss out on certain things and all that, thanks to the bots. And then they would be on sale
Howie,
on eBay.
Howie, I'm doing my part to help stimulate the economy. All right, that's what I'm trying to do. No,
I think you're holding Nintendo afloat. just you.
Somebody's got to do it, right? So that gives me the right to complain about it, right?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. let's kind of move on. Let's get into our we want to talk about curating your game room, your game shelf, your collection,
Yes.
right? Brandy, why don't you start us off? I always do it ladies first, so why don't you preface your video before we get into it, and then we'll get into my video, and we'll kind of go from there.
That's me. I'm a lady.
Well, it wasn't Howie, that's for sure.
No, so pretty much we're just, just talking about this. Everyone has their own collecting habits. Everyone plays their own, games that they like. People like different things, and I just talk a little bit about that in this video. And I kind of want to know what you guys take on this, and I do ask a question at the end of this video. So we'll go ahead and answer it like in real time. So we'll just jump right on into it.
And we'll put your funny comments up as you're watching it while you're watching them.
So the thing that I love the most about video game collecting is that everyone collects a little bit different. Now, of course, when we start off collecting, a lot of us will just jump into any and everything. But there are a lot of specific things that people enjoy collecting for. So, as y'all know, I go for a ton of different items. But what I really love collecting for are some of those pieces that I used to have back in the day from my childhood. I feel like when I started collecting, I would try and go for the Nintendo 64. I went for that Nintendo 64 set, the North American, and of course now I'm going for those Japanese titles, as I have some of the PAL regions already. So I am going for that worldwide set, and it doesn't just stop there. Not only do we try and collect for the different games, we collect the different system variants, we collect those different controller variants, then we start branching out like I did, and collecting the store displays from around that era, whether it be the Nintendo 64 lights, the different signs, the kiosks, these KB Toys cabinets, collecting all of this stuff. I feel like we always shift a little bit as we're collecting. So a lot of people, they don't just go for certain systems, they go for a particular franchise that they absolutely love. Did you love Kirby as a kid? Did you love Mario? Did you love Sonic the Hedgehog? Do you really absolutely love anything and everything related to that franchise, whether it be the toys, the video games, or for the different systems? You may collect a particular franchise because you fell in love with that story. You fell in love with those characters, and you fell in love with pretty much anything and everything related to that. I love when I see people's collections and they have like these dedicated areas, whether it be for, Mario, or you see all of these little Mario characters, just different little things like that. It's just something so special seeing how everyone collects. Not everyone has this crazy amount of space, and when you do start to run out, you start to limit, you start to shift, you start to see what works, what doesn't work. People will end up taking some of their items and they'll just go ahead and trade them in for something that they really absolutely love and that they enjoy. And that's something really special to see. What people take pride in, what they really enjoy in their collection, and what they're going to go for next. So I feel like people curate their collections in different ways. People like to display their collections in different ways, and people certainly love to play games differently. Not everyone loves the same game, the same system, the same franchise, and not everyone is going to collect the same exact way that you do. Now, me and Tech Buzz, we might be a little bit different than the average person. We're going for these full sets. Now, I know there are tons of filler games. There's that shovelware. There's all these different things that people say. But I certainly love to, collect different things than what everyone else is, because I may enjoy that game, or I may remember that game from back in the day. Is it the best game in the world? No. Did I have fun with it? Absolutely. And do I want to make my own opinions when it comes to some of these games? Yes, I do. And that's what, I especially love. So even though I'm going for some of those lesser titles for some different sets that I'm going for, like the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the GameCube, and obviously the Nintendo 64 already, several others as well, but it's really just something that I like to do. And not everyone has to collect and play these games the same way. Not everyone has to do this. And That's what I absolutely love. I love seeing different setups, different spin-offs of how people collect and how people play, and I just really think it's spectacular on how people take pride in their own collections, how they kind of narrow in, and how things change over time. So, I just want to know, how do you guys collect or even curate your collections? Do you gather a bunch of items and then trade them up towards something that you want? Do you kind of focus in on those different franchises, whether it be a particular character or different type of game? Do you love, some sort of like every racing game or every action game or every shooter out there? What do you especially love? And do you care about the different consoles, the different systems? Are you true to Nintendo? Are you true to Sony? Are you true to Xbox? Microsoft. I just want to know, what are you true to? What do you enjoy collecting? And how are you different than some other people? I just want to know. So definitely let us know as you're watching this, and we'll go ahead and talk about that.
I don't know about that one.
Yes.
Stephanie was sitting there saying that you were cray cray.
I know. I'm just laughing. Go sit down. No, but no, I mean, it kind of just depends. I feel like everyone does shift. We had a really great a lot of great comments, but your collection will change over time as your focus changes.
Yeah, that was a really
And
good
I feel like
comment.
that is true for a lot of people, because it's like when you first start out, you just start like buying literally everything, especially if you started at a time where things were super cheap. So, of course you're going to go ahead and do that. And it's just crazy, because I feel like over the years it's like you start to lean into what you really enjoy. So, I know someone was asking, when you're collecting like this, do either of you play each game you bring home a bit, or does it so much come in it kind of gets put on the shelf? I mean, it kind of just depends, really. Like, obviously, when you bring some things in, you might want to test some things out. Sometimes I do, like, you play little clips of things. And then next thing you know, if you do buy a lot of stuff, you kind of do just put it on the shelf. But, like, the goal is to try and play as much as you can. That is the goal.
Yeah.
It's just always hard, because there's, like, never enough time. And
Because we're grown-ups. We're adults.
Yeah, we're not kids anymore. It's like now we have the money, but we don't have the time. But back then we didn't really have the money, but we had more time. So it just kind of shifts, and it just depends. Like, I find myself buying a lot of displays and promotional items and things like that. So, I mean, I'm also going for like full sets. So like I say one thing, but
Because you
it's
cray
kinda
cray.
like, yeah, it's kind of like we're going through everything. It's just, you want to test as much as you can, because you don't want to keep buying broken stuff.
Right.
And you might only play it for like a few minutes, or just power it on, or play like a level or something like that. And then you're just quickly moving on to like the next thing. And I do find that we tend to do that a lot. Like, you just keep moving on to like the next things, but the goal is to play more.
Yeah.
You know.
And I want to address some of the folks here. Yeah, this is live. We do the podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, unless one of us has a meeting of some sort and we can't be here. Then we do it on a Friday. But it's usually 8 p.m. Eastern, and we come on here. But we include a lot of pre-recorded clips, because obviously if we're sitting here, we can't be in our game room. So it just kind of makes it easier for you. Well, we can, but it makes it harder. So
yeah, it'd be a little challenging. So we do throw in some clips, and then you'll also see some other clips from other people. We welcome people to submit clips.
Yes.
Whether it's like your game room, a cool find, a cool pickup, just anything that you guys have, just send it on over. We got quite a few this week. We have some that we're already going to play next week. So, just the more the merrier. We love seeing stuff, and
see, Brandy,
it's really cool to see all that.
You have to learn from this guy. See, he's saying the wrong thing in a chat full of Ohio State fans. You don't go in and say boo OSU. That's just, you just don't do that. It's not good etiquette.
Pittsburgh. That's what you do.
But to your point, I at least personally, I try to play at least every game that I bring home, even if it's
Mhm.
20 minutes. I know there's a lot of guys that get told that their collection is just shelf collections where it just
Mhm.
sits on shelves and stuff. But I don't know. I buy the game because I'm kind of curious about things. I put together a little bit of some tips too, going through like kind of my mindset when collecting of what I do, and we'll come back and we'll talk about this a little bit. So check this out here. All right, since we're talking about curating a collection, one of the hardest things to do when you start collecting is curation. When I first started collecting, I sort of had an idea of what I wanted, but I also went through the process of, it was around 2018 when I really started getting back into collecting again as far as consoles and games, that I was going out to pawn shops, Goodwills, you name it. I went out there and I would buy anything. And the reason I would buy anything is because it was so cheap. I could find games for $1 to $2 a piece. It wasn't until I really started getting some in-box items, like when I first got this was one of the first consoles in box that I got, and it was like immaculate shape for how old it is. That is what really set in my mind and said, okay, I want to collect all the consoles that I can, complete in box. That's a curation that I do. Anything that I get outside of that, it either gets set up for display to play. Usually I have 2 of each console, and it's in the consoles are in the box. That's the way I curate. Except for like the heavy hitters like Jaguar, I don't have 2 of them, or the 32X I do have 2. Neo Geo CD I don't have 2. The Lynx I don't have 2. But a lot of the game systems that are more common, I do have 2 systems, so that way, we can play them and still I can keep a complete in box. That's something that I would tell you should be on your list, is figuring out how you want to collect, because that's something that you don't learn when you first start. All right, something else here in my collection, curation again. I have a lot of bloatware, but I also have a lot of games that I play. And let me just kind of give you this example right out the gate, okay? So like here's my Wii U collection. I have the Infinity 2.0 and 3.0 versions. I keep both, right? Let me find one here. A lot of them, like I have Donkey Kong here. Like I have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Breeze, but I've got 2 copies of it. One is open, to play. The other one's sealed. So certain games that I get, because I find them at pawn shops and things like that, they might be sealed. They might not be sealed. So I try to find another game so I don't have to open it. And I know the sealed game guys are going to go nuts. They're going to be like, open it. But I like to keep a lot of like my Wii U games, or a lot of games. You'll notice that there's a lot of Lego games. Me and my kids have fun with the Lego games. That was predominantly what I got. With the Wii, it's a scattering of games. A lot of it is whatever I could find for 50 cents. My GameCube collection here, a lot of them are heavy hitters and some bloatware. PS4, that's the most widely found at the pawn shops. So I have a lot. I have a mix between bloatware and I would say my bloatware in my collection is probably 10 to 15%. The rest of it is like hitters, which isn't bad. It used to be a lot worse, and I've gotten rid of a lot of it, which brings me to my next tip, is knowing when to get rid of some of the bloatware. Like I ran into a problem where I have no room for anything. What I mean by that is I kind of pack this room to the hilt, but you can see some of this stuff like this. I got this for $10 and it's sealed. How do you turn that down for a collection? It might only be worth 20 or 30 bucks, but it's something, that I have in the collection. But a lot of these games here, they're either sealed or they are, pretty decent games, I would say. And Another thing is some people, they want to go for a complete collection. Like I'm going for the complete North American collection of the NES. So, I mean, there's a lot of bloatware in there with the NES. Same with N64. I pick them up at yard sales. I pick them up wherever I can. I try to get them cheap. A lot of the games that I have are ones that I wanted or I found. Same thing with Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, as well as, the Master System. Game Boy, I got a lot of games that I wanted. 3DS is all games that I wanted. So bloatware is not really a factor when it comes to some of those systems. When it comes to these games over here, like I can find Xbox One games, Xbox 360 games. I can find them pretty much at pawn shops for 50 cents to $1. So I don't really care what they are. I usually buy them unless they're a sports game. I don't really do a lot with, I don't need 5 different sports games. I play more of the modern ones anyways. So with the PlayStation 2, it's so easy. Sometimes you can find 4 for $1. When you start getting into the Atari games, I have some probably bloatware Atari games. And the reason for that is, well, I got most of my Atari games for like 10 cents a piece. So you can't really complain with stuff like that when you have that. Like I said, since we're talking about curation, the biggest thing to do is if you don't have a lot of room, I have a room dedicated to this. I actually could, get rid of some of my arcades in the other room and dedicate that room to it. The biggest thing that I would tell you is I would suggest finding what you want to collect. What are you passionate about? Not everybody has the room for all the systems that I have. Not everybody has the room for systems and games to be on display. Find out what you want and curate based off of that. Don't curate based off of what somebody else thinks or what everybody's saying. If somebody says, oh, well, why are you buying retro? Retro's dead, but you really love retro. You go buy retro. Do what makes you happy and curate based off of that. What you might think is bloatware, I might think is actually really good and vice versa. So keep that in mind. All right. To Stephanie's point on there, she was eagle-eyeing my graded game. I don't really collect graded games. That game goes for $175 to $200 graded at a 9.9. Don't ask me why. I mean, we all know it's a big... Anyways, I got it for $30. Okay. I'm just putting that out there. That's what I paid for the graded game. I got it from a local guy here. He wasn't even a game collector. He just sold, like, as he called it, pop culture. Okay.
Okay.
So I got it for that. And a lot of the games, like, how do you pass up 10-cent Atari games or like some of those sealed games? Like, I don't want to open them because I'm getting them for like 50 cents to $1 a piece. Like, are you going to open them?
Exactly. I feel like when the deal's there, you just do it. You figure it out later. Like, you're not going to pass up on, like, if you already have multiple systems of things and they're like a couple dollars a piece, are you going to keep passing them up or are you going to trade them towards something that you really want or whatever? I feel like you kind of just have to like weigh the options there.
I'm like you are right now. I've been holding on to a lot of stuff that I've been getting, and I know DG, she'd be thrilled with some. I've got some sealed PS1 games in the collection, and they're good games. They're not trash. All because I found them at pawn shops and stuff that people didn't want them, and I sit there and I go,
Yeah.
Like I got Castlevania. It's not sealed, but I got the Castlevania. I think it's Symphony in the Night. I think it is the PS1. Which one am I thinking of here? Anyways, it's a PS1 game. It's not greatest hits. It's like an $80 to $100 game. Either way, I got it so cheap because this stuff is like out there.
Yeah, I feel like especially like good games too. Like you really cannot just pass up some of this stuff. If things are super inexpensive, I feel like just do it. Figure it out and then maybe get it to someone who really wants it. Maybe get something in a trade,
Well, yeah,
towards
that's
something that you want.
that's the thing too, right? You get it in a trade or you give it in a trade. I've already said I'll get rid of all 30 arcades out here before I'll get rid of the games. But you notice some of the people stated earlier about they don't want to put their stuff in a storage area, and
Mhm.
and I kind of agree with that. Like, is that your idea of curation? Is that you take the stuff that you don't want to play and you put it in in like a storage facility or storage locker?
Yeah, I feel like some people do. Like some people will put things away. Like my goal was when I bought this house, I looked for a house that in my head I thought was big enough. Obviously it's not for a game collector. It's for like a family, not a game collector. Um but it's like I wanted a place where I could literally display as much as I could because I did not want to rent a storage locker. I didn't want to have to, I've seen a lot of those get broken into, and I've seen
Hmm.
a lot of those where if there's like bugs or rodents or if it's unkept or the climate control or something goes wrong and the power goes out, like there's like so many worrisome issues. And I mean, I know you could what if game and all that with your house and all that stuff too, but it's like I wanted everything out and easily accessible. Now the only things that I have tucked away are like boxes to collector's editions or
Hmm.
boxes to the statues. Like I have the figures and statues displayed, but then in the closets and like the top space is where I have the empty boxes. So like I do like that's where I drew the line, but I know some people don't have that. Like at one point I didn't have a lot of room. I was in like a small apartment and I had to work with the space that I had. So like a lot of things did get tucked away. And a lot of people aren't in a position to where they can just literally have hundreds of thousands of, you know, dollars or space or square footage or this or that.
Right.
And, it just kind of depends on the person.
Oh yeah,
with those.
leaks in the storage facility, and Stephanie says, "Oh, and there's a line." I guess there's a line that you can't cross, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and one of the things I maybe I should have mentioned in the video when I was filming, I have a lot of the arcade one-ups, the 3/4 scale that
Hmm.
they're not full size because of the way my basement is. Even though it's finished, if I had full size arcades, it'd be kind of hard to get down here. Anyways, they're easy to work on. I know how to work on them. We have a ton of fun with them. So before we get into emulation versus, we're not doing it. But one of the cool thing is the bodies are hollow, Brandy. So
Hmm.
you said you take a lot of your boxes and you store them, whether you put them in the attic or somewhere else in a room that's an overflow room. I
Yeah.
actually take a lot of the boxes that I don't want to display or I don't care to display, and I stick them in the arcade one-ups.
Yeah, I remember you saying that
There's a
at one
lot of
point.
room in there. I mean, a lot of these machines, it's the size of a basically a refrigerator for a college student, right? So
Uh-huh.
you have that much room under there, like a lot of these collector's editions. If you're displaying if you have these arcades, you can pop open the back, throw your box, well, not throw them, but put your boxes in there and store them there, or other types of trinkets that you really don't want to display, right? And give yourself some more room because, like I said in the video there, a lot of people fight not having enough room. That seems to be consensus.
Yeah, I mean that's always an issue. And usually when people start to run out of space, oftentimes they will kind of switch what they're collecting. Like if you don't have space to put the stuff, you're going to have to change. Are you going to go for them big bulky items? Or are you going to start to like curate and make your collection a little more narrow? Or are you going to shift focus? Are you going to stop with some of the big items, go for the small items? Like kind of what you're going to do. Or are you going to set back and be like, well, what am I going to play? Do I get rid of some of this stuff? And then, everyone goes through all these different questions and everyone does things a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. And I think we both said it, and we both recorded at different times, even though we did it today. We recorded them, but our basic message was, you got to
Hmm.
collect it and curate for you. And I think a lot of the chat room here has kind of agreed with us in the consensus
Hmm.
because they said, you're going to change. Like when I first started, I was buying everything, man. I bought whatever I could find, right? And if it was cheap, it was for me, and I bought it. If it was weird and I thought it was rare, I bought it, only to find out that it probably wasn't rare, but I still bought it. And I think a lot of people, as you get going, just like I found with collecting the consoles, I am a stickler when I buy the consoles, I try to find a box. I want them complete. It's just something that I try to do. Are you a stickler when with a certain area of your game room that you buy, whether it be let's say a certain genre or a certain system or a company? Like let's say you're doing N64. Are you a stickler for certain things with the N64? Does it have to be a certain quality?
I mean, everything I'm a stickler on. So like, I feel like if I'm gonna pay price charting prices or anything around that, I want the best, cleanest label. I don't want any yellowing. I don't want any tears. I don't want any snags, rips, anything. I want certain things to look a certain way. If I'm paying top dollar or if I'm paying any amount and someone's paying a similar amount to me, I want the best of the best. So I will literally turn down games if they have rips on like the top of the label, if something's peeling up that like I couldn't just like, push back down. I don't want something if I'm going to be, spending that money. Marbs is saying you're a stickler on everything. I mean, pretty much. I want good stuff. And even if things are like way cheaper, it's like I kind of like weigh my options because a lot of collectors condition is everything.
Oh, can I answer
know?
this one here? Where do you
Yeah.
typically, Jay wants to know, where do you typically sell old games and systems? She doesn't. She doesn't sell them. She doesn't sell anything. No, I'm just kidding. Usually
Only
conventions.
duplicates. Yeah, only duplicates. But I'm not like a store or anything like that. Like I don't. This is my personal collection. If I find an extra Wii system, then I may sell that or trade that or something. But it's not like I have like a place to do any of this at.
But that's
So most of the time I'm a shopper. I'm not really a seller. I'm mostly a shopper.
no, but that's a good point here, and I want to kind of go back up to the first mistake that a gamer makes by Insane D Gamer. You know what? This actually worked out for me. Remember, I was talking about my Neo Geo CD, and I ended up getting it for like $14, and I showed the receipt on my video. If you go back and watch it,
Yeah, I remember.
I got it
The
because I bought like 6 of those. I can't think of the name. They brought it out as a TV show and everything like that, but it was a day one edition. It was worth $120 or something like that, because the TV show was out, Fallout.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I was at a pawn shop. They wanted $1 each. They were sealed and sealed. They
Uh-huh.
were while the TV show was brand new. It was $120. So I kept one and took the duplicates because I had to rescue them from the pawn shop for $5. You can't leave sealed games there. You just can't.
Exactly.
So I took them in and I traded them into the exchange, and in turns paid $14, and I got myself a Neo Geo CD, and that's where I think the duplicates. That's kind of how I got started with the Wii U, because for a while there, Brandy, Wii U was hard to find, and it was starting to get like GameCube, like it was very sought after.
Where everyone's talking about this inside joke that kind of happened at a convention. We were cracking up about that. No, but I mean, you got like a heck of a deal on that, and I feel like a lot of people. So this is where I made my mistakes. I never bought duplicates. I never bought bundles. I never bought lots, and I feel like I really missed out never doing that, because I could have had so much stuff that's more valuable that was worth trades. Um, and I feel like I did miss out on that. Like I feel like I would have even more that I could have like traded towards certain things and maybe got some better deals. So like now, if I see things super cheap, I'm gonna pick them up, even if I have them or don't have them, because then I can use that and help other people out. Or if someone has been looking for something and I see it, I'm gonna pick it up and be like, "Hey, I just bought this the other day for a couple bucks.
Well,
Like it's yours if you want it."
You did it for me
Or
because I needed one of the Nintendo games, and you brought it to Pittsburgh, I think, last year. It was,
yeah, that sounds about right.
and there was a GameCube
Oh, the
game too.
bobblehead or something. Yeah,
No, it was a
we each
GameCube
helped each
game.
other out.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
that you had brought out and whatnot.
I think like a bobblehead, and then you helped with the thing on Facebook Marketplace, the dinosaur thing, and that's what you do. You get things, you get extra stuff, and then
And you help your friends out with it.
you can help your friends. You could trade. You get something that you want. And we were talking about the Southeast Game Exchange, not the
Yeah.
exchange. This is
Yeah,
a
two
video
different
game
things.
convention. Yeah. So the Southeast Game Exchange, that was an awesome video game convention, and
Yeah.
it's not a part of any ripoff or
So-
anything like that.
Jay, and I've held your comment up here because this is a very interesting comment, and I think the folks in the chat room can also add to this. But he said he's never been to a pawn shop, and he's like, it's kind of sketchy and stuff. But let me tell you something: the pawn shops are my favorite places to go when it comes to finding video games, because they, most of the time, you can get them for $1 or $2 a piece. I will say the more you buy, the cheaper it is. So let's say they're selling PS3 or PS4 games for $5 a piece. You can usually bundle that together if you buy like 20 of them, and they'll give them to you what comes out to be like $1.50 a piece sometimes. And that's honestly where I've gotten a lot of my collection. I've gone in and bought them. Man, I've bought them and they're good condition. Now you do got to watch. There are some in there that are kind of trashy, like Brandy said. They got stuff missing and stuff, but then there's also stuff where people didn't know what to get or where to go with their collection and sell it. They're only buying them probably for 50 cents on the dollar. I've gotten PlayStation 1 games sealed from pawn shops for 50 cents. I know DG's in the PlayStation. You need to go out to pawn shops too. You'll find some good stuff there. Daryl ended up giving me a really good deal at Pittsburgh last year for the PlayStation with the screen on top for the PS1.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, I mean, you just gotta go look. The Salvation Army, I don't know if you've been to them. Some of the Salvation Armies are kind of pricey, but some of them, if you find the right one that they don't know what they've got, you can get lucky there.
Yeah, I feel like don't limit it, because I go to like thrift stores all the time, and I can go every day and I can find something different every day. And if there's something there, I will find it. Like, it's just, never miss out, because you really don't know what you might find or what you might miss out on, because I've been into different places too, like antique malls, things like that. And I've seen store displays and cabinets, and then, you could reach out and you could work some deals, and it really just depends on your area too. I know a lot of people that, I've talked about this before, but some people are like, I'm not in a big area. We don't have any local Walmarts or Targets or anything. And this GameStop is X amount of miles from the house. And I do understand that. But if you do have a big city or some area, definitely check it out, because I feel like, you never know what you might find. Lawn shops.
Yeah, lawn shops, yard sales, garage sales, they're all great. Looking for games, you can get a ton. If you're trying to do, like, a lot of it is, I want to get the SNES set, I want to get the Genesis set. There's a lot of sets I want to try to do, and I'll move it over here if I have to. Like I said, where the arcade is, I've got room in this basement. I just got to make the room. It's just something I want to do.
Find the room.
Exactly, and I'll find the room. I will make it. Listen.
Same.
I'm probably one of the few that have an actual working television and Sega Genesis in their bathroom down here. So, I mean, there's that. If I'm allowed to do that, there's a lot of things I can do, right?
I know. Stephanie was telling all my secrets earlier. She was like, you could just use storage in the bathtub. That's where a lot of my cardboard displays are, in the basement. That is the bathroom down there. I mean, no one uses it. There's multiple bathrooms. Why do you need that many bathrooms? So one of them kind of ended up as storage a little bit. So I know I need to get the stuff out of the bathtub, but hey, you got to do what you got to do.
I'll tell you.
It's like the bathtub is Narnia, and it literally holds so many store displays and standees. And then when the people came out to film for that Hulu episode, I said, whatever you do, just don't show the bathroom. And they zoomed right in on the tub, and they showed the storage in the tub, and it made me seem like a hoarder, like I was a part of one of those. I thought it was going to turn into like an intervention, and I thought we were all going to talk about that. So,
well, that's what I think next week. Everybody, what do you think? We should have Brandy take a video of her bathroom with all the stuff in it, so we can all see what she's talking about. We want to see that storage room, right? Everybody, put in the chat room, put a number 1 if you want to see Brandy's quote unquote storage room, but it's actually her
Oh
bathroom.
no. I need
Let's
to clean
put
it
that
out
in
now.
there. No, not you're not allowed to clean it. Stephanie's watching. You're not allowed to clean it out. She'll tell on you if you do clean it out. We got to see. We got to see. Look. Okay, the ones are starting to come in. Will ain't dead. And number 2, do it. Bathroom tour.
And here is my bathroom. Thanks for watching. I'll do a whole
Well,
bathroom.
It's not
It'll be like MTV Cribs.
Wait, to
and
be
then
fair,
y'all will really see.
to be fair, it's not really a bathroom right now. You're using it as a storage room. Let's make sure we quantify that here. But no, but yeah, there's a lot of ones coming in here. A lot of not the weird
Oh,
way that
no,
I put it. Exactly. I didn't mean it like that. I was literally. I want to see all the standees that she has smashed together because
Yeah, I do. I
this
have a lot.
but this is
I
our
actually have, like,
conversation. You and I have this conversation
many.
when you get a new one. I say, well, where are you going to put that? And you're like, I don't know, in the bathroom again. And so like that's the conversation that we have on a regular basis. And so I can just imagine like they're just stacked and they just keep going higher and higher because you have a lot of standees in
Yeah,
that you've
and
acquired.
I don't know how big this bathroom is, but I'm telling you, it holds a lot of video games. Like it really does.
So I think Stephanie was really looking forward to this show because she was hoping that after we were done with the show, you would start curating your collection. You'd start going through some of those standees and maybe selling them or getting rid of them. But in the other hand, I think it's just firing you up to go get more.
I think it did because now everyone's on my side and I feel like I have the support. So I don't have a problem. Thanks everyone. And she said, or it's in the laundry room.
Oh,
It is.
it's in the
I mean,
laundry
everything
room.
is in the laundry. Stop telling all my secrets.
So now you're gonna go viral, like Retro Gamer 78 says. Bathroom guided tour, #1 YouTube trend. Here it goes. They're gonna make it
I
viral.
really should. I should show like all the craziness with the game room of like a behind the scenes of what you never see. But yeah, I do have some original Xbox standees in there too. Like I have so much stuff. It's literally everywhere. It's
All the
it's in
joking
bathtub,
aside,
in the closet.
the creepiness aside of how it came out, because it wasn't intended to be creepy or disrespectful in any way. But this is what a lot of us do. Like over in our laundry room, it's not finished over there. That's where I store my Brandy, the racing setup that I have for Mario Kart, where it looks like an actual racing car that you can put the steering wheel on and the pedals, and you sit down on a chair and it's like the whole setup. Because I can't leave it in the game room; people will be tripping on it, and I have 2 of them. So when you're playing 2 people, so I think like there's a wall in there. My wife will tell you, like I've got Guitar Hero guitars in there. I've got the drums for Guitar Rock Band and Guitar Hero. And of course, you can't just have one set of drums. You got to have them for all the different systems. So you have them for the Wii, the Xbox, the PlayStation. So you got to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't just leave them in the middle. So that's a lot of stuff. I think a lot of people, don't see.
Yep.
Let's put
People
this
don't
out there.
realize all that.
Let's put this out there as a challenge for next week. Submit the weirdest place that you store video games. The weirdest place that you store video games, and send it. It could just be a picture and just tell us, this is my attic, or this is my laundry room, or this is my doghouse. I don't know. I think that would be funny to see. I think we'd all find that there's a lot of people storing things, and we might even get ideas, just like people have told me when I did that short with putting them in the arcade 1-ups, Brandy. They're like, wow, I never even thought about storing stuff in there. So it might help people.
Yeah. No, I mean, I did see there is like this viral picture that went around. Someone collects Jurassic Park, I think, on the Super Nintendo, and they put them in like the fridge and the freezer. Obviously, it had to be like some sort of joke or something. But we want to know, where do you put your games at? Do you put them in a bathtub? Do you put them in a refrigerator? Do you put them in a closet? Are they in the laundry room? We want to know, where do you put all your stuff at?
Wow. They're saying like when you run out of toilet paper, at least you got the cardboard.
No.
Oh my, we don't have a basement. Oh, that's true. So like the Midwest folks, why is that? You're in Tornado Alley, Midwest people and even Southern people, they don't have basements, but they're the ones that get hurricanes and tornadoes. I don't understand that. I mean, we get tornadoes too, but not like they do out there.
Yeah, I don't know how it all works. Like where are the states that it stops? Or does like every state have basements, or when like a certain
I
state
don't know.
over, they don't have basements anymore?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
That's a good question.
it's weird how they do it. They're all going after Stephanie here. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on a little bit to what we're playing this week. We got some more segments. We've got also coming up game rooms, a storeroom tour. We've got DG's game room coming up here, and we got a bunch of stuff to show you guys here. So let's take a look at what we're playing right now. All right, Brandy, you're up first. I'm gonna play the video. What are we looking at here? True Lies?
Yes. So this is True Lies. So actually, you guys should check it out. Shameless plug here. My most recent YouTube video. I actually stumbled upon this as on a whim. Like, I wasn't even planning on going out here. There was a toy show, not a video game convention, but a toy show. And they put on a couple different events every year, and they put on a really, really, really big one, and then this one, which was like a decent size. But it's like a much smaller scale. So I decided to go out there, and I actually stumbled into this Super Nintendo game, and the people didn't have that many at their table, and this is one that I actually needed. So I got a pretty good deal, I would say, on this. I don't think it was very much, but I actually do like it because you could shoot like the 8 directional. Like, it's a little bit better, and there is this like cool little shoot 'em up scene in here, and it's just a fun little game. And usually these games are crap, but like, you know, this company and everything, but this one was actually a pretty good one. So far it's been a lot of fun, and you can't even, you know, beat those deals. And that's not all that I got there. I actually picked up a box for a Pokemon game. It came with the Pokewalker. So you guys will have to check that out because they only wanted $20 for that big box.
Wow.
And that goes for like over $100, just the big box alone with the Pokewalker. So like this place, like literally they had so many action figures of video game related. They had a Street Fighter 2 original watch from back in the 90s. And it was still sealed in the blister pack. I did pick that up. Like, people were willing to make those deals. I even picked up tons of figures at a table. I put them all on the shelf. I have all these
In the bathroom?
Simpsons ones, and they were all like, no, not in the bathroom, just right here on the shelf. And telling all my secrets. No, and then like it was great deals. Like, and then I even bought a bunch of $5 figures and some other like cool giveaways and things like that. So this was an amazing event that I'm shocked that I found this stuff at. I found the deals. It was super unexpected and unplanned, but it was so worth it because I got a lot of cool stuff, and I got it real, you know.
Will's telling me to tell you to be
cheap.
quiet.
People
You're
are like,
giving
tell
away.
her to shush.
Yeah, he's like, you're giving away all the secrets. He's like, shh.
I know.
Don't.
I know. Now I'm never gonna find anything at these.
Only the best
toy
stuff
shows.
goes in the bathroom. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
and then we'll shift it, so I don't tell all my secrets of where I find everything. But I did just get this watch in. So this is the Atari 2600 watch, and this is the Retro Play watch.
You're not supposed to show that till
So
we get
it's
to the
a My Play
pickups.
watch. Oh, well, there we are. We just jumped into it. I
She's
didn't
just
wanna
like,
keep
we're
telling
going.
all my secrets here.
Yeah, man.
We're
You're
just
just
going
giving it
for it.
away. You're giving it away.
You can
No.
play it.
Okay. Somebody
I'm
asked
just
you.
telling it all.
Somebody
But
asked you
yeah.
last week. Can you actually play the game? So you want to answer that one there?
Yeah, so you actually can play games on here. Now, what I've heard so far, I haven't really messed around with it too much. But if you did like pre-order it, you get an extra little watch band with it. But you can play 4 games on it. You could play Pong, Super Breakout, Centipede, and Missile Command. So
Very
I'll
cool.
have to hurry up and get this unboxed so that I can play it ASAP.
Very, very cool.
But I am pretty excited for it.
All right.
And
So-
now I'm done with all my secrets.
Are you done with your secrets? All right. So what I've been playing this week,
Yeah.
is obviously, I'll give you a little hint. I started back into the regular season here for NCAA 25. Now I want people in the chat room, if you play 26, to tell me why I should look into NCAA 26. I didn't really see a lot of noticeable changes with it, but if you're into college football, honest to God, I'm into professional football. Brandy's not, because she says go Pittsburgh. But I stopped playing the Madden games because I feel like these games, the NCAA game, has been a lot better, in my opinion, than any of the Madden games that were out there. So what are your thoughts out there? What's the difference between if you have 26 versus 25? And let me know, because I'm kind of curious. I was going to say, have you played it yet? But you're probably not really into college football, right? You're probably more Baltimore,
Go Pittsburgh. No, I have not played it. It's been a while since I've played any. Really, I haven't even. Yeah.
It's hard because these games are so expensive when they come out, right? I mean, sports games are so expensive when they come out, but then they're cheap in like Daryl's saying, in a couple of weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're telling me.
Now, I feel like that's really how it is. It's like by the time the next one comes out, they're so outdated with like the roster and everything else. And
I like that one.
I feel like you want to get the upgraded one, and yeah.
That's right. The Cowboys. See?
Oh no. Just the Ravens. The Ravens.
Oh, the
for
Ravens.
real.
Here we go.
That's my team. Yeah, that's my real team. Pittsburgh's just a joke,
Yeah, it's a great way to get booed out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, if you're in Pittsburgh and you insult Pittsburgh and you say go Ravens and Pittsburgh sucks, then people really don't like you. Just so you know. If you didn't know that, the more you know. Because
she learned this.
That's a secret I will share. You don't want to insult the entire town and area of Pittsburgh. You don't want to insult everyone. You just don't. You don't want to do that. That's a tip. Friendly tip.
That's the reason most sports games don't hold any value. Exactly. Like I did that with NCAA 25. I bought it. I pre-ordered it. I bought it for like $70, and then 2 months later it was down to $29.99 on like a brand new on a clearance. So
insane.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit. The college football season hasn't even started yet. The end of August, so I'm gonna wait for that. All right. Should we get into the game rooms? Should we start showing you some of the game rooms?
Do it.
Let's get into show us your game room.
Hey, this is Michael Rickard from Wildcard Video Games. You are watching Game Masters on YouTube. Enjoy.
Yes.
All right. So the DG sent this in. This is her game room here. She didn't do any commentary or have any music on it, so we're going to kind of show. She is the PlayStation girl after all. Brandy looks like she's got a vast collection of PlayStation, right?
Yes. Literally everywhere. It's all PlayStation. I love that right there. When I saw that, I was like, wow, that's a display I do not have in my bathtub. I would love to add that into the collection.
How did I know you were going to say you're going to put it in your bathtub? I love this. I love the way she did it with the white, and then she has the multitude of colors changing where the different boxes are different colors. Like, I so want to change all my shelves now to white because of that. I got one of those for the back of my TV. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, I like the colors. I like how they pop there. I really do like that. And then this, I mean, just the whole wall, like, literally just goes on for days. It's so many PlayStation games.
Now she's going for the full set. I'm curious if she's still in the chat room. I'm curious to see, has she accomplished the greatest hits yet and got all those, or is she just strictly focusing on, the whole collection as as a whole. I mean, look at it. It just keeps going and going and going.
And I like the big box too. Like I like those like Grand Theft Auto and stuff. They had like the little collector's edition. Crash Bandicoot, they had like the collector's edition. Where it's like the thick cardboard box, and then you have the different games in there. I do like that. I did see a couple that she had. So I'm just curious, like, is she trying to get as many variants too?
Yeah.
Just trying to grab all of them. How many are there? I know there's quite a bit. And what the count is and all that.
And she's been
definitely insane to see.
She's been curating her collection, Brandy, by getting rid of stuff that she's not playing for that PlayStation. Because there's, I mean, obviously there's some hitters in there, which I think is really, really cool to be able to, like, she knows what she wants, she knows what she's keeping, she has limited space, and so she's using the most of that space from what we've seen in the video, right?
Yeah, and it's something that she appreciates and she values and she loves, and that's that's what we all want. We all want stuff that we enjoy. We don't want to just buy stuff that we're tired of. It's we want the good stuff. We want the fun things that bring us joy, that bring us something, So I do like seeing that. I like seeing how hers is very specific and unique to her, and it's amazing. I mean, there's just so much in there, and there's things that I haven't seen, and it's really cool to see all that together.
Now we're going to show a video, and this is courtesy of Marbsman in the chat room. He visited a store out in Columbus, Ohio, and he shot the video. He has the video in its entirety, so if you missed part of it, you can go back and watch it on his YouTube channel. But take a look at the store, and if you're in the greater Columbus area or if you're out there for a convention, check it out.
Hello, I'm Chris Sebastian from Play It Games, Movies, and Music, serving Central Ohio with 3 locations. You are watching Game Master.
Hi, Marbs here, and welcome to my private tour of the new Play It. Now, Play It has 3 stores in the Central Ohio area, and co-owner Chris Sebastian was nice enough to allow us an opportunity to film the new store on High Street and have a little bit of a sneak preview of what they have going on with this new facility. Now, they don't call it Play It Games, Movies, and Music for nothing. Chris Sebastian, co-owner of Play It, personally curates the music section, and you will notice that they have a large selection of vinyl LPs and even a budget selection of used ones that he's been able to accumulate from a number of sources. Now, if you're a CD fan like me, he has a large collection of CDs for sale in a variety of different musical genres. In addition to that, he has a large selection of strategy guides. Now, strategy guides are something that I'm really passionate about, and Chris has always said that he never really had a great way to display them, but now they have a section in the store, so he's going to be able to bring some of those out of storage and even add more. The pop section is legendary here. Chris takes a lot of time and effort to bring in the latest pops to make sure he's got the old ones. So if you're looking for a specific pop, you're going to find it here. Now we'll look at the Sega section. It has a huge Sega section. Dreamcast, of course, Saturn, Genesis. They have all the different various consoles for Nintendo. In addition, they have an entire Switch section, which is up in the front of the store. Movies. That's the other thing that is huge here at Play It. They have an amazing amount of DVDs. And you got to remember, there's a lot of shows that never made the transition from DVD to Blu-ray, so there are only DVD copies of these. In addition, many of these are box sets, and Chris has a large inventory here of Play It of that. I mean, any box set that you could think about, he's pretty much got you covered here. In addition, he has a huge Blu-ray section and a 4K Blu-ray section that I think is just about mind-blowing. And, of course, the Steelbook section, which I like. One of my favorite areas of the store is the retro game section. Now, the retro game section has all of the other consoles. What kind of consoles? Well, it has it all. It's got your older TurboGrafx, ColecoVision, and Intellivision, and, you know, other systems as well. I'll tell you, it is one of the largest selections of Intellivision games that I've seen in quite some time. If you're looking for Intellivision, Play It's got you covered. You know, I gotta tell you, physical Switch is something that I have dabbled in. I wouldn't say I'm passionate about it, but I do enjoy the Switch titles from time to time, a lot of the shmups and things. So certainly I have an interest in these titles, but you'll see collector's editions, imports, just all kinds of Switch, and that's pretty amazing. Behind the counter, up on the shelves, you see some of the rarer things that Chris happens to have for sale. And then we see what I like to call the high dollar cabinets. The high dollar cabinets, they have it all. 2600, Super Nintendo, GameCube, Atari, all of the PlayStations, PlayStation 2, PSP, PS3, PS Vita, you know, all of it. And the latest titles too. Chris does stock the latest games as well. So you don't have to buy at GameStop if you don't want to. I mean, obviously, Play It can help you with those as well. As for Xbox, it has one of the best Xbox selections in my city. Normally, if I'm looking for something for Xbox, I will start by asking Chris if he happens to have it. And that's one thing I think it's important to tell you. A lot of people ask me, what is the best tip you could give me for finding the good stuff, the rare stuff, the stuff I'm looking for to fill out my collection? And the answer is, make friends with the retailer. Because if you support an independent store and you're making friends with the retailer, who do you think he's going to text when that Xbox Halo exclusive or that one-of-a-kind game that he knows you've been looking for comes in? That's right, it'll be you. And that's important. And I think the new store is really great. I love the white shelves. I love the look. I love the feel. I think you will feel right at home here. And you will find that it is a great place for you to shop for all your video gaming needs. My name is Marbs. I want to thank Chris Sebastian and the staff at Play It for allowing me to film this video. And I would strongly urge you to play them a visit in person. I'm sure they'll have something that you can walk out the door with. We'll see you in the next video. Now subscribe for me.
Yes, I mean, that's awesome, but I have to give a quick shout out. Thank you so much for the donation. We have Retro Gamer 78. Definitely awesome of you. Really do appreciate that. And a perfect time too, because this was a store that we actually went out to. You know, really, really cool to visit. Super nice owners. Everyone who worked there was super nice. Just amazing. Everything was clean. We got to see, they had a Heineken GameCube console. It was like a special edition. I think there were only like 50 of them or something out there. Like very, very small amount. So this store, just so great to see. Marbs, you know, thank you for the video and sending that in. Definitely did a great job, but we really do appreciate that. Retro Gamer 78. Thank you so much.
And didn't we have Marbs actually did one more thing. He got I think it's the owner of the store. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Marbs, to donate a $25 gift card as a giveaway tonight on the show. And once we get a winner, we give that to Marbs. Marbs gets it to the owner of the store, and then he sends you a gift card. So when you're in that area, or I don't know if he does online sales, but I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
To be able to do that, right?
Yeah, you did say something about that. So that is it's definitely very cool. We'll have to figure out how we do that.
I got a good idea how to do that, because my pickup this week has no indication of what game it is. Okay? Until I actually physically show it on camera. So what I'm going to do is play the game, the footage of the game, and we'll kind of talk over it and see the first person that guesses it and guesses it right. That's who's going to win the gift card. What do you think?
Okay. He did say, so we do have a little clarification. Yes, that is right. $25 gift card, and he does online, amazing eBay, and in person.
Okay, there we go.
Should
I'll
that
pull
be
that up.
Amazon? Online, Amazon. I was like, amazing.
Yeah, he did it. Amazon. Okay, cool. So you could buy it. So even if you're not in the area, if you're overseas, you could still buy it.
Yes. So everyone get ready. We'll make sure that everyone's ready to go. Everyone get your typing, ready to go.
Okay.
And that's how we'll do that. So everyone who is watching, it doesn't matter where you're watching from, just go ahead and comment, and the first person.
The first
that's what
person.
we'll do.
The first person that can guess which game this is, or games this is. So take a look at this. We're going to get into our pickups of the week. All right.
Please, it's very cold.
All right. This game here was filmed. Well, I guess I shouldn't say filmed, but there is a movie based on this. The game has two distinct titles for this game. It came out in 2019. The first game. It follows siblings Amisha and Hugo, who must look for a cure to Hugo's blood disease in southern France while fleeing from soldiers of the Inquisition and hordes of rats that are spreading the Black Plague.
Sick people in these houses. Don't touch anything. Oh,
Got to be more specific. Insane D Gamer looks like he's close. He's very, very close. Give me specifics here, man.
All in the past.
Oh, he got it. He got it. The collection. Yes. And I'll show you why it's specific. So, Insane D Gamer, go ahead and send either Brandy or myself your email so that Marbs can get in touch with you and get that gift card out to you. I told you, Brandy, this is going to be tough. Like, you have to know your games. That was impressive that he got Plague Tale very quick. But let me go over here to my cut camera.
Oh, very nice. The collection one.
This is why it was specific. That's why I played both of them, because in the collection, I just picked this up this week. My friend had it, and she was like, "Oh, you got to pick this up." So I saw the collection rather than buying them both, and it has the multiple discs inside of it. It even has like I guess there's some stuff that you can add for extras, if you will. But it comes with the steelbook, which is kind of cool. I like these types of games that are kind of like Assassin's Creed controlled games, and I like the mystery behind it, and like when you're trying to look for certain things. This game just looks phenomenal. What do you guys think? Have you played this? Or have you checked it out? What is your thoughts? Have you played it, Brandy?
I have not, but it does look very interesting. And I
Yeah.
do like how it is like a collection of it.
Yeah.
Marbs is saying that he owns it, but he has the individual discs
Okay.
for
Yeah.
it.
There's
I
an
didn't know
individual.
they had it as a collection, so I feel like that would be something that eventually, if I could get it for like the right price, then that would be pretty fun.
It was inexpensive too. I think it was $32 or $33 from Walmart. That I saw with
That's not
for the
bad because
collection.
you're getting that cool collection there.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
Marv says he owns it. I'm going back to catch up with the chat. Oh dang, we're supposed to guess it on your chat or Steven's chat. It doesn't matter. We're bringing all the chats in. There's no more segregation. Anybody that's in either chat, we can see. So here's the cool thing. All right, we're gonna do a little something here that we don't normally do here on the podcast, but we're gonna try to do this here. You're
We're
gonna
just
see a
telling
little.
all the secrets.
We're gonna show you a little behind the scenes here. So I'm gonna cut to my camera where behind the control desk here, but we're gonna zoom in over here. This is the chat room.
Wow.
This is the combined chat room of both myself and Brandy. So I can see everybody chat. Now's your time to chat. You can start chatting and put it in there, but I could see both chat rooms at one time as if it's one chat room. So it doesn't really matter. So I could see if somebody in my chat room was first or somebody in Brandy's chat room is first. You can see everybody that's coming in real time. So we've got you covered. We've got you covered. I'm able to pull it in, and just see you guys saying hi. There we go. So we got you covered. Don't you worry. We're doing this fair, right? We did it fair.
We did. We've been saying that we're doing something a little different each time. We're just, we're taking all y'all's feedback and all that. I'm not getting rid of my bathtub, but we're taking all the feedback, telling all the secrets, and hoping for the best here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of behind the scenes that most people don't get to see, but I wanted to show like it's fair. Like I can see both chat rooms at the same time, and I'm in the process of getting it to where Facebook pulls in, and Twitch pulls in, and Instagram pulls in, and it's going to be one massive chat that I'll be able to see, and then hopefully down the road, Brandy's going to be able to see, so that way, kind of makes your life a little easier. And then didn't you had something to pick up of the week, didn't you? You were going to show something that you had, right?
I sure did. No one has saw this ever before. This is brand new. So for the pickup, I have this cool Atari watch that no one's ever heard of or ever seen, and no one knew that I had this. And I did not just show this off like 10 minutes ago at all. I don't know what you're talking about. This is the Atari Retro Plate watch. You could play Pong, Super Breakout, Centipede, Missile Command, and this is a cool watch because it tracks, your fitness. It tracks your steps. It has some really cool things to it. And no one has seen this yet, but this also came with this extra little band here. So, yeah, no one has seen this ever. This is my first time ever bringing this up. So if you thought you saw it, you didn't. Yay! That is my pickup.
Didn't you just? There, it was a joke. We're gonna use that as a clip on the show. She jumped the gun. She was so excited to show you guys that she jumped the gun, and I was like, wait, we have a segment for this.
Yeah, I was just really going with it.
Somebody had asked, are we using StreamYard for streaming service? No. We are using a TriCaster, and Brandy has set this all up. I just sit here and press buttons.
Oh yeah, this is me. I am the tech buzz, and you're watching the Disney Channel. Like,
no, this is a little bit more complex than StreamYard. I'll just kind of give you guys, because we don't normally do this, but I'll give you kind of my shoulder cam view where you guys are. I'm pulling your chat up here. I have it there as well, just as a backup. I'm pushing buttons, changing cameras, pulling it in. We've got everything up here on the board. My audio is controlled here. And then also, if you're listening to the podcast and you hear here, there, everywhere, you're just gonna have to come on out and watch live us do the video, because we do have an audio podcast, right, Brandy?
We sure do. And exactly what he said is exactly what I have set up over here. There are some things
She does too.
and stuff and all that set up over here.
She doesn't
But
put
no,
around.
we are all over the place. So you can watch us live on our YouTube channels. It's also like streamed on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, I think Twitter, like all the places. And then if you are listening, we're across all these different platforms. So you can listen on all the podcasting things, all that stuff.
iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, all those places. Your favorite podcast location.
Yes.
Literally immediately after the show, within like a half an hour, I usually have it uploaded, and you guys can go back and listen to it if you caught halfway. But we're trying to get more engagement with the audience. We want you guys to be a part of this, because just like we're called the Game Masters, that doesn't mean we're the masters of everything, but we've come up with the name Game Masters because it's something we all want to be. We all want to be Game Masters, and we can all learn from each other, and it's a way that we can all work together to achieve that goal. So that's something that we are doing, and we're working on merchandise. Now, I'm wearing the red one, as you saw in the shirt, in the video, the Game Masters. I kind of like this one, Brandy, but I also like your black one. You've got the black one going on there.
Yes. So the Game Masters.
We're hopefully going to have some
cool.
of these at conventions, right? We're going to have them that people can pick one up if they want. We're going to have stickers and buttons that you can pick up. They haven't arrived yet, but we have them ordered.
Yes, we totally do. Everyone's telling me I should draw the Disney Channel thing. You know how they always do that, where they're like, "You're watching the Disney Channel," and then they all go like, and like it never looks anything like it. It never looks like the mouse.
We got to get you set up with a telestrator. That way, it actually shows up on the screen, and people would. I think they'd get a kick out of that if it.
We totally should. We should do our own little thing. It didn't even look like it, but we should. We'll have to get better at that. But no, I do love how like the merch and stuff is turning out. So it's a little hard to tell, but like this is bright. Like this color is pretty bright. I know you've been wearing them in videos. I've been wearing them in videos, and things like that. But definitely we'll have some on hand at some of the, conventions that we're out at. We do have some pins that came in, like the little button pins. There should be some smaller ones coming in too. Waiting on the stickers to come in. We have a ton. And then of course, you'll be able to get some Gamer Aimer ones, you'll be able to get some Tech Buzz ones. We have all that stuff when we go to these events, and we'll have to figure out a way to get some pins and stuff to some of you guys that can't make it out to the conventions, because we
give them away on the channel here and just throw them in an envelope.
Yeah, we'll just have to do that. Just put them in something and just send them on out to some people. But we definitely appreciate the support and everything, and every little bit helps. It goes back into running all this tech stuff and making it all a little bit better and easier and stuff for everyone.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of behind the scenes, so we want to make sure that all of it is done right, and we get it all back, and we make it a little bit more enjoyable for you guys.
Yeah, because any money we make on the channel, whether it's a super chat, whether it's a donation, whatever, it goes back into the Game Masters. Just so you guys know, just for the podcast, to have an audio podcast, and I know a lot about that, the behind the scenes, it's like $15 a month for the server, which is cool, totally cool. We wanted to be able to do that for you guys, but that's where, just being totally transparent, we're not doing this to quit our day jobs right now. We both have really good. We have good jobs, but any money that we make from the merchandise, we're just going to put it right back into the merchandise. We're not making a profit. We're not trying to scalp people, or so we just want to be upfront about that so everybody knows. Yeah. One of the things I do want to do is give a shout out, Dr. Scott in the chat room, Game Closet. Yeah. If you guys like our logo, the Game Masters logo, Dr. Scott is a good graphics. He's a great graphical artist, and if you guys are looking for logos and those types of designs, hit him up. He does a lot of video editing as well. he might be available to do edits if you want to hire him to do video editing for your YouTube videos, because we all have all the time in the world to do to that stuff. But yeah, no, shout out to Dr. Scott and
Yes.
Game Closet for our logo. We approached him and said, hey, well, this is what we're thinking. He's like, I don't like it. He said, let me work on it. Truthfully, right? That's what he said.
He did a great job though. Like, I'm shocked because getting like the shirt and seeing it like close up and seeing the pins and stuff come in, and like, I'm just shocked how good it turned out. And it like displays well. It really pops. People even brought it up, you know, when I was out and about with the shirt on. Like, it's just really cool, you know, seeing all this stuff like finally coming together. So I do like that.
Yeah, and it's always good too when your friends are able to tell you, like, our idea when we had our idea. He's like, do you want me to be honest with you? And we're like, no, we want you to lie to us. And he's just like, I hate it.
Yeah.
we both kind of stood there. We were like,
And like,
okay.
it broke my heart for a minute, but at the same time, I appreciate people that are honest. I
Yeah.
don't want people that are going to sugarcoat things because, you know, we want things to like stand out or look a little bit different or not be like blended in or like dull colors that like don't like all the same. Like, I like how it's different colors. It has different things going on. It has like this like whole like controller outline. Like, it has like a cool vibe to it, and I'd rather someone be honest about things. And I don't want someone to just be like, oh, no, that's fine. And then next thing you know, we're walking around with a misspelled logo or something, you know?
That
I always want someone to be honest.
Could happen.
Yeah.
No, and if he didn't like it, that means y'all probably wouldn't like it. And so if you know, in order to wear it on merchandise, you got to like the logo, right? So, yeah, Game Masters was a gaming review TV show here in the UK back in the 1990s. I think they had a Game Masters here in the US as well. I think it's defunct now. But you also had Captain N, the Game Master, which, I mean, hey, everybody loved that show, right? With Captain N and Mother Brain and Mega Man and stuff. But
very cool.
It's
very cool stuff.
Yep, it's simple. Our logo is simple, but it pops. Exactly, it's what we like. But if you're at the conventions that we're going to be at, ask us if we have any of the merchandise. The goal is to have it there with us. My lovely wife will be there, and she'll be able to assist you with that, as well as my kids and whatnot. So we're going to hopefully have that for you guys at the upcoming conventions. But Randy, I think that's about it. That's all the time we've got this week. We really want to. I know we harp on this every week, but send us your game rooms, send us your grails, and now send us the craziest place that you store video games. That's what we want to see.
We all know what mine's gonna be.
Yeah, you're in the bathroom. So if you guys have it, listen, it doesn't matter how small your collection is. It doesn't matter how enormous your collection is, except Randy might cry. Send them in. We would love to see them, and we can just like I did for Marbs today. I made a folder on a Dropbox. If you don't know how to do Dropbox or Drive, that's why I'm the tech buzz. Just get a hold of me. I'll help you get it going, or get a hold of Brandy, and Brandy will get a hold of me. It doesn't really matter. We want to see your game rooms. We want to see your grills, what you consider as a grill, and tell us the story behind it. We want to feature it every week. We love featuring stuff like that. Or, Brandy, what if they have a tip on collecting that they want to give? We could also have something like that, right? This is how they curate their collection, and I think they should throw something like that out.
Send it all in, because like we all explained, we all want to be the best that we can be, and the game masters, and every little bit helps. We're always learning something new, and it doesn't matter if you have a collection, if you own a game store. We appreciate Play It games, movies, and music. Thank you so much for that as well, hooking up our people watching and listening with the gift card, and just an amazing store, amazing people there. And it doesn't matter. We don't care if you own the game store, if you work at a game store, if you know a game store, or if you have a game room or a game closet, or if you have a game bathroom.
I see what you did there.
We want to see all the stuff, we just want to see it all.
I see what I like what you did there. Game closet. I like that. That was good.
Yeah,
I'll give you
I
that.
just throwing it all in. And don't forget this Atari watch. Let me tell you, you should pick one of those up.
There you go. There you go. And I hope you guys did you guys enjoy having everybody's comments now showing up on the bottom of the screen and not just ones from my channel? We're getting them from all the channels, from all the locations now. Makes you, I don't know, Brandy, it really made us feel like it was like a community show. At least for me it did. What do you think?
I had a blast. It didn't feel like an intervention at all. I felt great. Like this is a lot of fun.
Oh, so you were expecting an intervention. Oh, well, that's something we're gonna have to think about for. No, I'm just kidding. If Stephanie's leading the charge, right, with an intervention.
No, I appreciate everyone. Everyone's complimenting me. Y'all are too much. You guys are too great.
We
Thank
definitely enjoy. The comments just keep going. But it feels cohesive. That's awesome. Yeah, it feels like it's one. And the people on my channel, they don't get to see what you guys are always saying. So it's great to have that. And you guys don't always get to see what the people on my channel are saying. So I think having this, and I'm pulling up, we're not like other shows where you have to pay to get your chat heard. We want everybody to feel included here. Like that's not what it's about. We want to have everybody included. That's why we're pushing it. Like, hey, if you have a channel, this is a great way for you to get exposure too. Not that we're like the biggest people on the YouTubes here, but get other people exposed to your game room, to your YouTube channel. Send in the videos. That's what we're asking for. You know, like it's part of being a community, right? So
yeah, I agree. I think the more the merrier. I like having everything pop up. I feel like even I can see everything because like there was a time where I couldn't really see what was going on. So I love it. I feel like it's great. I love how everyone is just chit chatting back and forth, and it's great conversation.
been a great live. Yes, it has. Well, we're not gonna keep you guys anymore. We've already overstayed our welcome. Really quickly though, Brandy, what do you got coming up this week for a video that people should stay on the alert for?
Yes, I am posting a bunch of upcoming content. I picked up a ton of Nintendo Entertainment System games. And don't forget to check out the one I dropped today on that toy show because let me tell you, they had more than just toys there. I bought probably like all the video game stuff and I got the best deals. I will say that. I think I got the better deals than everyone else. It was it was pretty crazy the stuff that I stumbled into. I mean, a Pokemon game, like the big box with the Pokewalker for $20, when
Wow.
the box by itself goes for like over 100, like insane, to find that. Like just crazy. So you guys have to check that out. And then I'll have some other little tours and different stores and things like that I'm going to. So you guys do not want to miss out. Plenty of stuff coming out, and make sure you're following both channels because he has some awesome stuff too. He just did some cool stuff in a video that I don't even own that stuff yet. So it's always cool to see that. So make sure you guys follow both of us and just check it on out.
Yeah, I just put up the video the other day. We talked about the Aladdin, right? And a lot of you guys were wondering, like, I know, Brandy, you said you're on the lookout for it. I had the complete set, complete in box, and we found out that it was actually sealed, broken seal, but it was sealed. Go check it out. Check out the video to see if that's something that you would play. I'm not going to spoil it, but is it really that bad? That's what I called it. So go check that out. Guys, we'll be back next week, and we'll have a whole new topic of discussion, and hopefully you guys are here to get involved. We'll be back same bat time, same bat channel, 8 o'clock Wednesday, East Coast time. Be there. Brandy will start rapping if not.
Exactly.
See you later, guys.